Hey guys, how's it going? Today, it's gonna be really simple because I'm gonna be talking about how the Sony A7S III is still the best videography camera that you could get in 2025. Just a bit of context, we bought the Sony A7S III back in 2022. At the time, we were using the Panasonic GH5 and also the Z Cam as well. It did take us quite a few months to transition from those cameras to the Sony A7 III, but when we did transition to it, we never looked back. Since then, we completed hundreds of corporate filmmaking projects, weddings, YouTube, traveling, and tons of other stuff as well using this beauty of a camera. Eventually, I built up a rig for it as well. If you guys are curious about what the rig consists of and how to build it, please check it out in this video here. I love this rig. It's lightweight, it looks professional, and I get amazing footage out of it. So whether you're starting out, a hobbyist, or a professional filmmaker, the Sony A7S III is still one of the best cameras to acquire. One of my favorite things is its low light capability. So this camera has two native ISO. One is at 640 and one is at 12,800. That's right, I'm not lying to you. That is an incredible high amount of ISO. Imagine using that in any other camera, you're gonna get some noisy ass footage. But in the Sony A7 III, this is its native ISO, which means that this camera is gonna save your ass in a lot of low light situations. So we film a lot of weddings, and during the nighttime, the reception tends to get a little bit dark. So in other areas such as corporate shoots, YouTube shoots, and travel, the low light capability also turned out to be really useful. Even though you can control more of the lighting, especially with YouTube and corporate where you can bring in more of your own lights, there are times where you just have to be quick about it, and that's when I turn it up to 12,800 ISO. The second reason why I love this camera is its S-Log3 picture profile. So I've used the V-Log picture profile, which is the Panasonic. I've used the Z-Log, which is the log profile for Z cams. I don't think it compares to the S-Log3 because the S-Log3 has amazing dynamic range, amazing colors, and the best thing of all, it has an amazing workflow to go along with it. But first, let's talk about its dynamic range. I feel like throughout all our projects, the S-Log3 does an amazing job in preserving the highlights and the details in the shadows as well. Not to mention the colors, when converted to Rec. 709, they look natural and beautiful. And I compare this to the previous model, the Sony A7 III, where when I used the S-Log, it did look a bit purplish or bluish. And I'm so glad that they fixed this problem in the Sony A7S III. Now, let's talk about the workflow. It's really simple because once you put your footage into editing, all you gotta do is to slap on a lot and your footage is gonna look amazing. However, if you did overexpose or underexpose your footage, please remember to adjust the exposure or the white balance in your editing software. If you guys admire our color grading, well, we do use our own LUT from our cinematic LUT pack. Like I said, it's really easy to use. If you're exposing your S-Log3 right, just put on the LUT and it's gonna instantly make your colors look amazing. So if you're interested in that, please check it out, link in the description down below. The third reason why the Sony A7S III is still a top camera in 2025 is that it has amazing autofocus. I used to be one of those cons who says like, if you don't use manual focus, you're not a real filmmaker. Well, it turns out that's not true at all because I've been abusing autofocus in every single one of my projects for the past 3 years. So yeah, that past me who said that, he's a little shit. Don't listen to him. So we do a lot of corporate projects for developers, lifestyle videos, fitness videos, sports videos, things like that. And often there are a lot of moving subjects within the frame. So this is where autofocus will come in really useful. Sure, in a lot of those situations, you could use manual focus, but you're gonna take so much time trying to get your manual focus right that you're gonna not have the mental capacity to think about a lot of other things in a project, like keeping your clients happy, the lighting, how to direct your subject, things like that. So getting that focus part sorted out for us by the Sony A7 III just relieves us of the burden of caring about it. So this is the same for weddings as well. The couple is constantly moving, there's things going around. It's pretty hectic and overwhelming on a wedding day, so autofocus is gold for that. Another aspect is traveling and YouTube. Both benefit really well from the autofocus. All the shots that I've got from the New Zealand trip are shot using autofocus. And if you're doing YouTube as well, especially if you're vlogging yourself, autofocus is gonna come in handy. Because we did try using manual focus to vlog ourselves and it's really hard to do it. So autofocus definitely did save us there. All in all, it doesn't mean that I don't use manual focus at all in our projects. I still do because autofocus has some limitations, right? If you're shooting food, then a lot of times autofocus might be focusing on the chef's hands or not focusing on the food that you intended. So that's where click one button on your lens and it will automatically switch to manual focus. So the flexibility of switching between autofocus and manual focus is amazing. Now, the last reason why I still shoot with Sony A7S III in 2025 is its capability to shoot in both photos and videos. As you guys know, both Jono and I, we're filmmakers and we own a video production company. But in a lot of our projects, we actually offer photo service as well. Because once you've set up the lighting, you bring in all the models, why not just also do photos because everything's all set up? In that sense, we're also upselling the client. We're also saying like, hey, we're setting all this thing up for an extra $1,000, add photography to it. So the Sony A7S III shines in this regard because if you look at the FX3 or the FX6, yes, they are amazing video cameras. So they don't have the capability to shoot amazing photos. So Sony A7S III have this amazing capability. This also comes in useful when we're traveling as well. Imagine only having a camera that can do video. That means you gotta bring another camera just to do photos as well. So the A7S III is a beast in that regard because we could capture both photos and videos while traveling. Last thing I want to touch on is how light this camera is. Like this camera, it's so much lighter than the Panasonic GH5 and the Z-Cam that we've previously used. It just means that by the end of a long shoot, my back is not aching, my forearms aren't that sore, I'm still feeling light and refreshed. So I really appreciate how light this camera is. It's easy to bring around when you're traveling, and it's also really easy to set up and bring around when we're filming YouTube. So at the end of the day, those are the reasons why I'm still using this camera in 2025. If you guys are interested in how we went from complete beginners to now full-time filmmakers, please check out our Filmmaker Starter Kit. It is basically a roadmap of our journey. There are email sales template, the packages that we sell to our clients, pre-production templates, and many more. So if you're interested in that, please check it out, link in the description below. That's about it for today. I'll see you next time. Stay focused.